Hello, everyone. My name is KJ, and I am the host of Great Talk and Entertainment official channel. And today's video is my unboxing review for I read for these comic books of DC Comics Bat. So this is just comic books of Batman. I went to this store called Marshalls, and it comes with 10, and it looks like this. This is not open yet, so I apologize for the glare. So I'm just gonna unbox this thing. This is called DC's Comics Heroic Vault, and it gives you a preview of what comic books you're getting out of like 10 comic books. And yeah, I know the mirror trick is not effective right now, but that's okay. I'll explain it. So I'm just gonna unpackage it right here with y'all. Let's start with it. I can't show you the Sharpie stuff. They'll ban me on YouTube. But just know I'm cutting it. Oh no, I just got a little bit careful. All right, got that. No, it's only $20, $14.99, $20, close, probably round it up to $20, depending where your tax level is and what state, but nearly 20, close to $20. Boop. Okay. Yeah. No, obviously it just slides again. Boop. All cool. Now, all that, and then slide these baby out. I don't know if they have these in order. Like, I don't know the reading order to it, but we're just I'll figure that out later. So the first one that came out is, and they're, what's interesting? These are just flat, and they're not like, which this didn't come in with the 10 collection, but it's not like this. Kind of thick, a little thicker. Compare it. One's, you know, it's paper. I mean, they're both paper, right? But, you know, so this one's called Batman and Robin. And I like this because this kind of reminds me of the Adam West Batman outfit, but mixed in with the Dark Knight design. And then, Robin. I don't know which Robin this is. I'm gonna assume it's Damian Wayne. And let's see, just like comic books, definitely support your local comic book. And I'm not gonna show everything about this because I don't want to spoil nothing if you haven't read it. But it advertises it, but and that's the back of it. So this is I would say a small read stuff, so it's pretty quick and easy to read. But it looks fun and exciting. I mean, I'll give you a little preview. So spoilers, here we go. You know, we got Gotham City. It looks like there's Alfred, and there's Bruce Wayne and stuff. So got a little bit of that, but there's a lot going on in this comic book for this small. So now the next one is Batman and Robin. Now this one is, well, I think that they made an animation movie from this a long time ago. DC Comics and HBO Max. But this is Batman. Now this one, the suit. Let me compare the Batman outfits to this is a little bit has changed. This one looks more like his armor suit, Batman armor suit, and more versus this one. And if you look at Robin here, sorry for the glare again, and look at Robin on this, a little bit of an upgrade. So there is a small upgrade to this. Wrong one. To this one, right? And you know what's funny, or I noticed it's kind of funny. It's the same background, so maybe they're all like that. But you got that, and look, there's a little QR code. Scan it if you can. And again, it's not a lot of pages. Beautiful art. And again, just like that one, here's the spoilers, just in case I spoil it. But a lot of going on in this one. Let's see, we got looks like Catwoman maybe. Let's see, and there's Robin. No, that's not Catwoman, but I'm sure she's in this comic book somewhere. But yeah. So I don't know if this is like, part two to this one. Not sure, but it just says exciting and a new chapter begins. So I'm just gonna assume this is a reboot, probably the DC 52. This reminds me. It's really cool. I just noticed there's a robin and a bat, like a bird and an actual bat. That's pretty awesome. All right, now the next one, and this is 2 out of 10 so far. Now this one's the DC 52, the new 52 era, which I think that's over now. But this is the Batman, or Batman the Dark Knight. Now this Batman is an upgraded suit from the last two. And this one seems more Arkham Knight style. And again, this comic book has the same background like the last two. And if you hit that QR code, go ahead. I don't care. I'm not really using it. And look, yeah. Again, not a lot of pages, but there is a lot of action going on here. So let me show you one. Let me give you a good page. Let's do, okay. See, it's Batman in action. Yeet yeet. Look at that. That reminds me of the Arkham Knight games for sure. On the Nintendo Switch 2. Yep. A lot going on in that one. And so far, just now, I haven't read these. I just open them up at the same time. So when I read them, I read them. But it looks like it tells a pretty basic Batman comic book story, and based on the Dark Knight, of how they portray Batman in this version. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Now let's do, that was 3 out of the 10. Now this one's interesting. This one's called Batman Superman. Well, it's not really that interesting of the concept of Batman Superman, but this one has the Batman Who Laughs character on the cover with Superman. And you know what? I gotta be honest, guys. I'm not really like thrilled with that. I honestly don't like to see Batman be evil like that. I just kind of like Batman being the good guy. So I'm not really thrilled on the Batman Who Laughs. Yes, and I just showed you the. I'll expose myself. This the Dark Knight medal, which is one of the many series that's like different parts of it, but it's based on the Batman Who Laughs. And obviously it's a multiverse story. But I'm not too thrilled with it. I mean, I liked it. It's not bad. And you know what? Everybody, you should go read it, especially if you're a comic book fans. Please give it a chance. I just don't like to see my favorite superheroes in any universe become the bad guy. So, but with that said, so this one has an interesting story, but this shows Batman and many things. But obviously, this is there's spoiler just ahead, but this is obviously something with the Joker. Is this toxic gas or chemicals that happen on him? And this is just variation of Justice League characters having the Joker's craziness, pretty much, which is fine. And again, funny thing, it literally is the same background of the last three, which is fine. So there's a theme going on with that. But this one, again, I'm gonna read it, even though I'm not like thrilled of the Batman Who Laughs. It's just not my thing. But I'm gonna read it definitely for sure. But this one's a quick read. This is again not a lot of pages, and that's not bad for 14.99 plus taxes. Now this one's called Trinity, and this is obviously the DC rebirth. So this is a rebirth of a rebirth. And this has Batman, Superman, and of course the lovely Wonder Woman. And it's funny again, same background of the back, you know, of the end of it. So that's funny. Now, this one again, let me show you a little example. This one from here, I can tell has a really good a mixture of stories of origin stories between the three or something like that. But since I've been showing you Batman, I'll show you some Wonder Woman if I can find her, which I will. That's crazy not to find her. Okay. There's Wonder Woman and the villain Cheetah, which we saw in I would say the second Wonder Woman film where Gail Gadot portrayed Wonder Woman. But we do have a live action Cheetah and stuff, so this one's pretty cool. There she is. Why are they always drinking wine? I guess that's what adults do. So that's cool. That's cool. I like it. So it's a little bit of three stories in one in a small thin comic book, which is fine. This is how they started back in the day, but a lot old, not with these graphics though. So yeah, I think this one looks better. This one looks really fun to read. And again, out of 10, that's crazy. That makes four comic books out of 10 so far. So we're almost there. Now this one, just to speed that up, look, same thing. That's crazy. I don't know why. Must have got lazy with it. This is called the JLA, and this has all the Justice League. I think JLA is Justice League. I don't even know. Justice League of America. Duh. Sorry, comic book fans. So obviously, this one, the man, that Batman reminds me of Michael Keaton's Batman with the yellow on it. And Superman's got long hair. Wonder Woman's got beautiful hair as usual. The Flash, he's bulky in this one. Oh, Green Lantern, he jacked up. And I don't know what's going on with Aquaman, but he must have a rough life now in this one. And then I forgot that green character. He transforms, but he's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. Now, let's just see what we got here. So, this is pretty much a Justice League comic book story. And so, this is not really just focused on origin stories and Batman, but we see the Justice League facing a group of villains who want to gang up on the Justice League pretty much. And Mantis is the I just want to point that out. This guy right here, that's Mantis. Because I read it. But it looks cool. It looks cool. It's just the Justice League teaming up. Here, I'll show you some. I'll give you a spoilers because I'm about to show a picture. We'll do. I'm assuming this is Jordan Howe, Green Lantern, unless there's another guy. But yeah, look, he's G's up. He's muscled up. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like it. And you know what? This has really cool stuff in here. This one, I really like it. I could tell this one has a lot of action. This one's like Justice. This is like the Avengers, but obviously Justice. There's a lot of explosions going on here. And that man, the if I had a review, it just that blows my mind. Like Superman has long hair, which I don't think that's a bad thing. I just I see where they were trying to go when at one point Tim Burton was going to direct a Superman and Nicolas Cage was cast as Superman. So I kind of see where they could have gone with that, which is never too late to do that film. Even though they're a little bit older, but hey, they're adults, right? Now the last I got two more. No, I lied. I got one, two, three, and four. Four more to go out of the 10 comic books. Again, $14.99, and I got it at Marshall's. Yeet. This is just called Justice League, and this is a new era begins. So again, reboot, restart, origin stories, same characters, but you gotta love it. That's why we have the big fandom. This one's cool. I like it. I like it. Look, they got Hawk Girl on this. Hawk Girl. And then they got the other Green Lantern, which is I forget his name. I apologize. And they got Cyborg, so there's that Teen Titans reference. So let me see. This is just called Justice League. Let's see. This is a typical Justice League's comic book story, but this kind of based just because I see they have the last name Snyder, so I'm assuming if it was Zack Snyder or another person last name with Snyder, this is kind of like with the Ben Affleck Batman and the Gail Gott Wonder Woman and the Ezra Miller Flash and Henry Cavill Superman isn't what I'm trying to describe, but it's got a lot, and I like the design. So this is a little bit more darker, a little bit more grittier, you know, like like Wonder Woman lost an eyeball, right? Isn't that true? Yeah, she lost an eye. Life's rough for her. She's still beautiful though. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. This is definitely because they got dragons. Like, why? Why not? Dragons in space. That's pretty awesome. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna definitely read this one. I'm gonna read that one for sure. And look at that. Each comic book so far has this background. That's for the end. This is obviously the front. This is the back. Okay. Now we got another Justice League. This is the new 52 Justice League. So there's a lot of new and beginning of the era. Why is that? Ask Warner Brothers. But This one has the little classic, little old school with the new school look. There's Cyborg, Flash, Batman, and the other Green Lantern, which is Hal Jordan. I forget the other guy's name. I apologize, everybody. There's Wonder Woman and Aquaman, and then there's Superman and the Flash. If I didn't say his name, so the whole gang's here, gang, gang. Now this is definitely a Justice League story where superheroes team up and take on a group of people or one. Oh no, I lied. Just half of it. It's the Justice League teaming up, but I just realized we're getting a little bit of origin story. I dropped some in the comic books, but I'll pick them up. And it looks deadly. It looks violent. So let me find a good one without spoiling it. So spoiler. You know what? Let me show you some Cyborg. Oh, and this one has the mother box in it, so I can kind of tell where this is going. But all right. See, this is Cyborg before he returned as one. So this is like his little origin story, and he's on the football team, the Gotham football team. You know, and look, there's the Green Lantern. You know what? I almost said Green Arrow, and I have yet seen the Green Arrow in any of these. But that is the Justice League again. This kind of reminds me of like the Justice League movie and stuff. So this is probably leading up to Dark Side. Yeah, I gotta get the other one. That's okay. They didn't fall too bad. Now we're going to Batman or just Robin, son of Batman. So this one, I don't know even know if it's DC New Era 52 or they're just doesn't really explain. But look at that. Same thing. The front and the back. Now this is just basically I don't know which Robin. I'm gonna assume that it's Damian Wayne. Let me see. Well, it did say son of Batman, so that kind of gives it all. Yep. This is funny. This is funny. So here's a little example. I want to show this one. Why is he being mean to the cat? Who knows? Because his grandpa. But yeah, there's a cat right there by my thumb. But anyway, this is what Robin. This is Damian Wayne version of Robin. And look, why is he so mean to the cat? That's funny. And this is kind of just showing. This seems like an origin story to him and stuff. And he goes on these crazy adventures by himself. And I don't see Batman in this. There might be no Batman in this story. But he is the son of Batman. That boy can handle his own business. All right. And now we're to the last one. Justice League, which is the new 52. Justice League International. International. I would love to see Chris Pratt just before I start. I would love to see Chris Pratt play this guy. And there's the I forget his name. It's a Green Lantern character, but he was in the Superman movie that came out this year. Directed by James Gunn. So I think this is the kind of idea he was going with, but there's some inspiration. And these are some characters I'm just not familiar with, so I'm not gonna even try. I just know the two, Batman and the Green Lantern. And this is definitely a Justice League with unfamiliar Justice League characters like Booster Gold. But I'll show you him. So here's a spoiler review. Look, I should say. But a lot going on. It's very Justice League story, without the Wonder Woman and the Superman and the Flash. But you get the idea. But yeah, that makes comic book number 10. Again, short, really easy to simple to read. Not a lot into it, but there's a lot going on in here, a lot of dialogue and reading and really awesome drawings. They kind of they all kind of resemble the art and the drawings of them, but not all of them obviously. They're all made by different people, but this had a really good interpretation of it. And for 10 comics, easy read, fun. Reading all 10 in one day, or at least 2 days, I would say, or three, or a week, whenever you got time. You read them all basically, and just as much as you can remember, they probably all do connect, and they probably all great stories. And for 10 comic books, that's not bad. And they pretty much can be like standalone comic books to me from just looking at them. Some might be part two, who knows? It wasn't really clear, but once you start reading, you'll definitely understand if they're standing loans or they're all or some aren't. Who knows? But really cool and really fun, exciting adventures to read. So I would say definitely if you see that, if you go to your Marshalls and they have something like that, I would recommend to go get them. I think they're for that price for 10 comic books. I'd recommend getting them, and I'm definitely excited to read them. So thank you guys so much for just watching me unbox that. I hope I did a good job. That's my first one. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talk Entertainment official channel. Subscribe, hit that notification button so you can be always update with all my latest content. Thank you guys and peace.